1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, the one that's all about local music and unsigned bands and storytelling from those people. Welcome to episode 12 of that, the Trial by Error variety show. We talked to Kailey Miller from Nashville, Tennessee today. Super sweet person. She's a singer-songwriter who is all about the keys. She has some really talented friends who help her put together an EP. We're going to listen to it, and we're going to, talk about life, talk about what inspires her, what inspires me even. It was a really good interview, so I'm really glad to share it. We do have some announcements before we get into all of that. We have some new music from Clutter Culture, who we talked to in our last episode. They have an EP out currently on SoundCloud called Unself. The complimentary EP to that, Ego, is going to be out August 11th. So there's that. That's probably going to be on SoundCloud, most likely. I really don't think they have anything else like on Spotify or anything. They're not to that level yet, but they are putting out some really awesome music. So go check it out. And also from our friend Stereo Fiend, who, if you watch our live feeds, you saw us interview them about a month ago. We're still working on the episode there. It's actually going to be out really soon, and that one comes with, this is kind of a little tangent, but it comes with an album review of Professor Julius's album, who we talked to in episode 2? Yeah, it was episode 2. So that's going to be fun. But Stereo Fiend, they have some shows coming up Saturday, August 12th at 10 p.m. at Yandros Garden Patio in San Antonio. Also, the very next day, Sunday, August 13th at 6 p.m. at Patio Dolcetto Wine Lounge and Beer Garden. Also, actually, no, that one's in San Marcos. And the Yandros Garden Patio is going to be in San Antonio, so right here in Central Texas. Sean James is going overseas. If you're in Germany, look for his stuff. Consider the following. You may have seen some of our advertisement on Facebook promoting those guys. We do have an interview coming up with them. We actually haven't even talked to them yet, but there's some friends of ours from Oregon, and we're going to be interviewing them and playing their new music whenever they get it out. Our friends Conway the Whale, all one word, Conway the Whale, is going to be playing at the Kiva Thursday, August the 3rd in San Marcos at 9:30. They're really good, kind of folk rock stuff. If you're in New York and you're listening to our podcast in New York, go check out the Amber Lamps. And if you like punk pop, definitely, because they're totally rooted in it. That's going to be August 22nd at 8:30 at the Indie Music Live 86. That's really it for show announcements. The only other thing I have really to announce is that on our webpage now, we have a support page, which links you to our Patreon, which has multiple levels, multiple ways to support us, from $1 up to $50. You could do that one-time donation or per month, and always change your donation plans. Whatever suits you. If you feel like this is something that is supportable in your accounts, go ahead and throw us $1, and we'll throw you a sticker and a shout out on the podcast. The $10 level, you get a few stickers, you get exclusive live content. The $50 level, you get VIP access and lifelong passes to all of our TBE live events wherever we decide to hold them. That's really cool. That's it. That's all we have for announcements. So let's get into this whole Kailey Miller thing. And I hope you guys enjoy what we've put together. My partner and I, Miss Stacey Clark, we've been editing and putting together a couple episodes to release back to back. So you'll get this one, and then you'll get the Stereo Fiend one very soon. Very, 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 very soon. But I guess without further ado, enjoy the show. Kailey Miller, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
It's really funny. I heard of you and I heard your music through the Uncovering the Unsigned podcast.
Okay.
The UK. Yeah, just
Very cool.
I was kind of exploring their podcast, doing a little bit of research for our own, and kind of seeing different formats and stuff. And yeah, your music really stood out. It was Wineglass was the only one that was on there, but then I went and downloaded everything else. And it's nice.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. People don't typically download, so it's always a good day when that happens.
Yeah, they do, but it's probably some pirated way. You don't know. So
True. Very true.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long really to sit there and kind of go through the songs and just download each one that you like, and it's $5 or $6 really is all it costs.
True.
For a lot of people's music, depending on how much you want to invest. So I always take a little bit of time to do that.
Well, you're beautiful.
So how long have you been playing piano?
Oh gosh. Honestly, this is weird to say, but in the fall, I will have been playing piano for 20 years.
Wow.
I feel so old. But yeah, I started when I was tiny. My parents got me into it around age 4. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, you sound so fluid. That's why I ask.
Well, thank you. It's definitely, that has always been, it's come more naturally to me. The whole singer-songwriter thing kind of came later. But yeah, piano's my main thing. So.
What would you find is your muse for most of your songs? Are those based on actual relationships or a relationship, or are those just kind of things through other stories, through other people's lives?
Yeah, honestly, a combination of both. It's always been easiest for me to write from experience. It seems to flow the most naturally and honestly. But I've definitely... at least one of my songs on the EP on my mind, and that I talk a lot more about experiences that my friends have had and try to tie it all together. So I guess, the full answer is a little bit of both.
It's just so laid back, and it almost it feels like when you sit down to write, like you just have something to get off your chest,
usually so. I've got friends who are they're super disciplined writers, and they're like, I dedicate, this much time every day and I make sure I write something. But for me, I feel like I have to get hit with emotion first for things to really start moving. So yeah, my mom's always asking me, when are you going to write something happy or up tempo? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty chill.
Yeah, it's like, it's not necessarily a style. It's just where you find your comfort,
Yeah, for sure.
Mine's always the acoustic guitar, so I relate to that. Just kind of, you have your thing, and everybody's like, "Well, why don't you, put this to electric and put pedals?" And like, man, I don't know. It's organic. I don't know.
Absolutely, I'm a huge fan of just keeping it simple and having the music serve the lyrics. So. Yeah,
definitely. What you said, it was kind of late. Into your piano playing before you became a singer-songwriter. What do you remember was the first thing you wrote about?
The first thing I wrote about, let's see. Well, when I was little, I started writing. I was working in a lot of Christian music. I was playing for my church in a kids choir. And I think the very first thing I wrote was like a prayer type song as a kid. I remember being so excited and running to my parents, like, look what I made. But in high school was when I really started writing. And my first breakup, I was like, oh man, I've got to play the piano. I have so many feelings. So that was my first stab at songwriting. So it was very angsty, just ultimate angsty song. But that was my start. So.
Awesome. Are those wind chimes that I hear?
I think it might be a train. I don't know. I'm not at my place because my internet has gone out. But
trying to identify
like
whatever that is.
It's very squeaky.
Is it? Can you see it? Can you not see it?
Oh, I'm sure.
What's the time frame on that train look like?
Yeah. I'm wondering. I may try going inside. Is that coming through like super loud?
Only when it's like really inconvenient, like right when you talk.
It sounds like those wraiths from Lord of the Rings. Hold on.
It does.
Let me relocate.
Yeah, put your ring on. Make sure you're alone.
Bear with me. Okay, here we go. Yo, can I go somewhere quiet?
Let's talk to everybody in that room.
Yeah, do you want to meet my friends?
Yeah, let's say hello.
Say hey.
Hi.
These are all my beautiful friends. They're
Awesome.
currently cooking dinner, listening to jazz.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep you until dinner's ready.
All right, I'm going to go in here.
That'll be the cue.
There we go.
When somebody comes and gets you for dinner, we'll let you off the hook. How about that?
Deal.
All right, cool. So Nashville, did you grow up in Nashville?
No, actually. I grew up in Western Massachusetts, in an area called the Berkshires, real touristy, really beautiful. My family moved down to Richmond, Virginia, when I was about 14, and they're all still there now. I moved to Nashville about 4 years ago for school, finished out a music degree, and I've been free for about a year.
Yeah, so you're serious about music. You got a degree.
Yeah, I know. It's totally legit. I've got a piece of paper to prove that I like music.
Yeah, you went the other way. A lot of people just get tattoos,
There you go. Yeah. No, I haven't gotten it on my body yet, so I guess I need to level up.
Get your degree tattooed.
There you go. Yeah. Certificate of completion.
Yeah.
Masters of Music. Oh, look at these beautiful tiles. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. You got a little reverb in your room too. I do.
Yes.
I don't have air conditioning in my studio. So now with that heat, I was like, nah. So this is just places that I've been to.
Oh.
There's some places.
Nice.
Yeah, me and my lady. And we just kind of travel all over whenever we can on sleep in the car and stuff like that. So I imagine that's how I'm going to tour eventually. Like,
yes,
stuff the guitar in there. You could stuff your piano in the back of your car.
Yes. I love that. I actually just bought a smaller piano for that purpose.
Like a studio, like an upright.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, yeah.
I wish. I bought one of the a little electric keyboard, because the current keyboard that I have is like giant. I have to put all the seats in my car down. But I'm trying to tour this summer, and I'm like, something's got to give. I need a smaller piano.
Sister, where you running so fast? You know you can't outrun the night. With all those demons dogging your steps, I know you'd rather turn and fight. But your knuckles, they are bruised, and you're so tired of being used by the very hands that reach to help you rise. Feel the cold wind biting in. Use your war paint as your medicine, and wipe the glassy traces from your eyes. Can you hold on? Though I can't promise you the coming of the dawn. And tonight, rest easy where you are, right here on my mind. Dear friend, why you bowing your head? You wear a pain as bright as those blue eyes. And those who say they know you don't see. But to me, you're one more soul that just can't hide.
Do you have something lined up tour-wise?
Yeah, I'm going actually out to the West Coast the second half of July. So we're going to be stopping in Denver, Colorado Springs area, Kansas City, I think Salt Lake City. And then I've got a few shows in Portland, one in Seattle, possibly a second, and then go back. So it's going to be a lot of driving. I think from Nashville to Portland total is like 36 hours, but I've always wanted to see the West Coast, and I've never been further west than where I'm sitting right now. So
wow. Yeah, then that's definitely not the West where you're at.
No, not at all. It's very unwest.
They've tried to import the West a little bit, you know?
Yeah, for real.
But it's not. If you go to Portland, are you basically just turning straight back, or are you by chance going down? Because another really good spot that you could find yourself is Medford. They're a really musical town. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Where is that? What state?
It's Oregon as well.
Oh, it is Oregon.
Yeah, it's Southern Oregon.
You know, I might actually look into that because we've got some free time just chilling out there. Thank you for that.
And they're super easy to book out there too.
Okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. So where's the coolest place you've ever been?
Oh, that's
music
tough.
or otherwise. So it sounds like you've gotten around.
Yeah, I think the Redwoods so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sequoia National Park. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've never been somewhere so lush where like there's just like you can feel it under your feet, just layers and layers of squishy, rotten earth. You know, so
I
awesome.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's really neat.
Medford's beautiful. It's kind of in the mountains. I lived there for a few months with some friends, and I found that Johnny B's is a really good place to book. They're more of like a rock sort of venue. And then there's like the Bamboo Room, which is sort of a little bit all genre, more of like a hipster thing. I bet you could probably get in there pretty easy.
Cool. Cool.
Ooh, Howie's on Main is a really good one. You've got a pretty good display on your, like with your Spotify. You've got good distribution, I guess, from what I've noticed. So
cool.
I think that's what they're kind of looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I will look into that for sure. Cool.
How did you get lined up with all those places? That's a lot of places to be just hitting the road. And
absolutely. Well, I had told my manager, best friend, Mitchell Curley, he's the reason for everything. He makes the magic happen. I had told him, I was like, hey, I want to kind of go out to Portland, and whether it's vacation or just exploring, music would be cool. And so he's like, cool. He's like, if you want, I'll start booking right now, so tell me when you're serious. And then a week later, I was like, all right, I'm serious. Take me to Portland. So, no, he's great. He's so good at what he does. And, yeah, it's come together pretty well. But, yeah, definitely grateful to have a team like that to help me out. So
yeah, he's definitely on point. I mean, anytime I've tried to contact and try to get something going, he's there within like an hour, you know. So, yeah, you really need that.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I lucked out for sure. So no, he has been so crucial to the whole thing. So.
Yeah, so you can focus on your music, and it's so much. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people don't use managers. They feel above managers in a lot of way. Like I can do all my own booking, but I don't know. I think you can spread yourself way too thin doing it that way.
I agree. I'm also not super great with people. I'm really awkward over the phone, and as you're experiencing. But but he is so good at just putting all that together. So I am more than happy to not have to do that.
And now the song "Free Floating" off of the EP "Dawn" by Kailey Miller.
How could I show you what I'm seeing? It's an ocean disillusion, rolling waves. How can there be another meaning with the smoke and the pollution's pressing haze? I wandered through in search of you. I walked the way they wanted to and found uncertainty to be the only truth. And I'm free.
How many people help you make the music? Because I noticed there's quite an arrangement in a couple of your songs. Are those studio musicians or are those friends of yours?
All of the above. So I met all of my current musicians through school at Belmont in the music program. And they are all phenomenal. That's one thing I love about Nashville. Like, you throw a rock, hit an amazing musician, like basically everywhere you are. No, but I've gotten really lucky to have some super talented people as friends that I can just call on and be like, hey, do you want to play? And then the engineer that I found was also amazingly talented. He's in town out in East Nashville. He runs a place out of his own house. The studio was beautiful. And so, I definitely have a great team of musicians working with me. And just to be able to say, like, hey, this is kind of the groove I need, or can you fill in a line or a lick here? And for them to be like, yep, and it comes out perfect is a huge gift. So,
which portions of your music were recorded at his studio? All of it?
On the EP, almost all of it, but the Wineglass track. I had gotten that done as a single before at another studio in town, and I had just had him remix it to kind of fit the flow of the EP a little more cohesively. But other than that, it was all done at his place. So, Yellowhammer, by the way, we'll give him a shout out. Justin Miller at Yellowhammer is the man.
Yellowhammer?
Yellowhammer Studios.
Okay, very cool. We can link him up in the show notes. I don't know what good it does. We're kind of like
hey, you never know.
Yeah, it's weird, right? You really don't, because we've had so many bands reach out to us. Like, I reached out to you through that podcast. I've reached out to some on Twitter, but I've actually had probably 5 or 6 bands in the last 2 weeks reach out to us from other countries, from other states. Yeah,
that's really neat.
And we just totally started local. Like, we just wanted to get all the local bands around San Antonio and everything on our podcast, and they just really don't reach out. Like, I've reached out to so many bands, and I haven't really got any response. And then all of a sudden, I start reaching out beyond Texas and into like different countries, and people are just like, yes, we'd love to talk about our music. Like,
you're international, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, with our 15 subscribers. It's awesome.
I love it.
We're better off like on YouTube and stuff like that. I think we have like 100 something on YouTube, and then we have 90 something on SoundCloud. But iTunes is where we're like trying to push people towards, because we're really lacking in the iTunes section there. But as you know, it's hard to get people to download. It's hard to get people to go to the iTunes store.
Yeah. What, $5? That's like the cost of a nice latte. I'm not going to give that up.
No. It's great, because with the invention of like Bandcamp and Patreon now, you can even donate. People have, it seems as though sometimes people will just go download the music, they'll pay the minimum price, but there's always that opportunity for somebody to give you $40 or $50 or however much they feel like it's worth, just to help you out. I think that's really cool. What do you use? Do you use anything like that to help you?
I actually haven't yet, but I've been told to look into it. Actually, someone fairly recently mentioned Patreon.
Yeah, look into it. Or have Mitchell look into it.
True that.
Yeah. Now, the song Stay, off of the EP Dawn by Kailey Miller.
Do you wanna stay here tonight? Breathing in the darkness by my side, and wake me when the morning sun breaks. Do you wanna Do you wanna
Have you heard their podcast? Have you listened
I
to
actually haven't. And Mitchell told me, he was actually super surprised. He's like, I didn't know they actually ever featured you. So he said he'd reach out to them quite a while ago. So I'm glad it actually went through. Cool.
Yeah. So I was thinking, well, shit, this is really cool because that is just sort of the radio version of our show. It's like just all this unsigned music that you wouldn't hear anywhere else without all the interviews. So I see that people putting a lot of passion into that stuff, and it really just doesn't catch a hold. And then they just sort of, we'll put the podcast in the dirt. And that kind of makes me sad because there's so many artists out there looking for an outlet, or so many people looking to tell their story or whatever. So
Yeah.
I definitely encourage you to get out and do more podcasting.
Maybe I will.
Who's your favorite artist working right now that maybe you have or haven't seen? Who's really inspiring you right now?
So my all-time heroes, they kind of vary a little bit. Okay. Carole King is my woman. Not that she's currently active, but she's maybe my main man there. Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, nice.
Her.
Yeah.
Ingrid Michaelson. I love her sound and her brutal, honest lyrics. She's a little more produced, and I really like the different kinds of sounds that she's able to create. Sufjan Stevens has been another inspiration for more like, I want to be poetic because I feel like it, and like very mood-based sounding music. And Noah Gunderson, I don't know if you've heard of him.
It sounds familiar. I don't know any music.
Huge fan. Okay. Just real gritty, honest lyrics, real pretty music. Not all the time. Like he gets pretty hard hitting, which is awesome. But yeah, those are my definitely top 5 or 6.
What makes you cringe? Like when it comes on?
What makes me cringe? I can't deal with a lot of like metal. I try to be very open-minded when it comes to music. If music school has taught me one thing, it's like you don't throw anything out. Don't close the door on anything, be it a style or an artist. Just like keep it open. So I always like to give things like one chance, but the metal thing, I can't do it.
Yeah, there's just it doesn't connect to you. That's a different type of person.
It doesn't. I mean, maybe if I'm having a really bad day and I'm like rage cleaning the kitchen, I could turn some of that on for sure.
That would be just hilarious though if that was what you said in the beginning, like because you write this soft and beautiful and poetic music, and you're like, I just, 6 Feet Under, I love them. Cannibal Corpse.
Oh yeah,
it's like he's marked in blood. Yes. Holy shit.
My roommates come home, I'm just vacuuming.
My buddy David is in a metal band. He's my writing partner. I have no idea how we write music together because that is totally that's his inspiration. Is
it really? Mm-hmm. Wow. So who are your main people?
Like the bands that I like and stuff. I think one of my favorite songwriters, lyric-wise, music-wise, has always been Conor Oberst from Bright Eyes, I guess, is how he kind of got his start. And, I don't know. I'm so vast. I love so much stuff. It's so hard. Like, I'm huge into psychedelic music. So I love like the old Rolling Stones, and I love like the 13th Floor Elevators and Brian's Jonestown Massacre. And as far as hip hop goes, right now I'm so into Spose and Watsky. Spose is from Maine, and a lot of people haven't really heard of him because they kind of think he's a novelty rapper, but he's actually just super honest, super real, and true to himself, and just straight up just having babies and making rap music from a small town in Maine. I just love that.
Hey, that sounds like the life. Oh, pitch my finger.
I don't do like a lot of the ego rap, I've tried to get rid of my ego, so I can't be sitting here listening to music that is feeding it constantly. Also, another really cool artist that kind of does everything is Tim Fight from Brooklyn. Have you ever heard of him?
I haven't.
F-I-T-E.
Tim Fight? F-I-T-E. Okay.
Check him out. He's got a body of work that will blow your mind. It's everything. He's done folk. He's done rap, rock.
Wow.
he's multi-instrumentalist, and he's created his own style.
I love that.
Yeah. Now the song Fade off of the EP Dawn by Kailey Miller.
What did I do to make you leave? Weaker men have weathered my insecurities. No word, no letter by the door to see you gone. Oh, I thought that we had left behind those tragedies of yours and mine, buried them in times gone by. Did your forward steps kick up the leaves and wake the pain we laid to sleep? You ran before it grew too deep. So fade, so fade away into the past that used to have me so afraid. So fade, just fade away into the stranger you wish you'd always stayed. What was the moment when you knew your journey couldn't carry me along with you? Not even in a passing glance or cold goodbye. Did I trail some bit of history along this jagged rail with me? Your frailest eyes won't bear to see. So go veil yourself in apathy and don't you strain to look for me, not even in a memory. Just fade, just fade away into the past that used to have me so afraid. So fade, just fade away into the stranger you wish you'd always stayed. Into the stranger I wish you'd always stayed.
You will
I
love
keep
his
telling
stuff.
myself I'm going to pick up more, so this is good.
Well, you've got the basics, piano. So
True.
you know. Do you know how to read music? I'm assuming.
I do.
You can't
I
be
picked
a
up a guitar
music. Yeah.
for like a day. The notes are sideways, and it's all about shapes, and it's not comfortable. And I put it back down immediately. But I've been kicking myself ever since. Just pick it up. Just do it.
That's a hard one, but it does take
One of these days.
some muscle memory. You know, your hands are going to cramp up, and you're going to get calluses on your fingers. But I think if you've been stretching your fingers like this real far out, then you can play the guitar for sure.
Okay, I'll give it another go just for you.
Do you listen to other podcasts at all?
Just a little bit. I've actually been recently asking friends for recommendations for my across the country trip because music's going to get old real quick. So In fact, if you have any.
I do.
I am
Joe
all
Rogan,
ears.
the Joe Rogan Experience. Okay. That's a great one.
Solid.
He has guests from every walk of life. You know, some of them, most of them are famous. I would say 99.9% of them are famous, but in different places, like different, like hunting or for weightlifting or for, you know, a musician or just stand-up comedian. Like, there's just so many awesome artists, and it doesn't feel like there's a cap on the time. It's like 2.5 hour episodes. Like, it's insane. One thing I will tell you is skip to like minute 9 or 10 every episode, because that's how many commercials there are.
Dang.
Yeah, but once you get past that, there's no more commercials for like 2 hours. And then if you like really scary stuff, do you like that kind of stuff?
Sometimes in small doses.
There's a podcast called Dark Matter, which is really cool. That has like missing 411 people and conspiracy theories, stuff like that. You know.
Hey, we all gotta get in on some of that sometime.
Yeah. And Sword and Scale, I mentioned that one. That's true crime. Yeah. Ugh. That one, it was hard to get into. I had to like push a lot back because there's a lot of it's a podcast about people who snap and murder people, and so it's heavy material, but it's so addicting. I don't even know why I'm addicted to it, because I saying it out loud, I'm like, oh, it's creepy. But
God, I just love hearing about murder
and multiple murders, like familicides.
Jeez.
But yeah, let's see. What else is really cool?
Variety is good.
Yeah, 99% Invisible. That one dives into like how do logos get made, like what makes a brand more popular than another brand, or it's, you know, stuff along those lines. Like how did pot get prohibition and not alcohol? Like, how did it turn back into that? Like, it's just really, it's not mainstream history. It's really cool.
Oh, that's neat. Dang, I'm going to be so cultured. It's going to be great.
Yeah, your tour is going to just...
Logos. I'm going to come out of it a different woman.
What's one of the most impactful concerts you've ever been to, where you cried and you grabbed the person next to you and swayed? Okay. You know?
Good question. Most impactful concerts. I have seen Ben Folds a bunch of times. I think 4 or 5 by now. But, oh, man, he's my hero. I think I may have cried. I definitely laughed out loud. I stood up. I danced. I cheered. Who else have I seen? Sufjan Stevens. That was like a religious experience. Like, I was out of my body. He did this like 7-minute instrumental thing after he played the entire Carrie and Lowell album front to back, and there were lights, and I was like, wow, I'm in another dimension right now. It was amazing. It was so moving. It was amazing. And I recently saw Lake Street Dive with Sarah DeRose. I don't know if you've heard of either of them. And she was opening for them, and I haven't heard a ton of her music. I knew of her, but she played this one song that was just so sweet and so simple, and her lyrics just like, duh. And there I was just crying 5 minutes into the concert, just openly. It was really something. So
I saw her at Bonnaroo, and it wasn't intimate like that, you know? So I could imagine in a setting where people are there just to see her, getting that feel for sure. But she is an amazing voice, no doubt.
Oh, for sure. And her band, it was just a trio, and they were so tight. Like, the instrumentation, the harmonies, the solos they took blew my mind. So 10 out of 10 would see again.
Yeah, definitely. She's a hell of a guitar player, no doubt.
Yeah.
Wait, you're in Tennessee. Do you ever go to Bonnaroo?
I am. I have not been to Bonnaroo, but I want to. So maybe next year, which is what I said last year. But, you know, there's still time.
I would suggest working there.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that's the best way to experience it.
It's a little more affordable, so...
Not only is it more affordable, but it's far more intimate for you and the artist. So you as an artist who's interested in seeing bands grow and seeing them on the biggest platform ever, going there and being backstage and seeing a band walk up on stage while there's 80,000 people out in front of them is like, it's a feeling that I can only imagine is topped by that artist, like being that actual artist. But whenever I was working there, it felt just as special to be like right backstage, right there, just looking out at all those happy people. I don't know. I saw 21 Pilots from like the barricade right there. And they have the drums that they actually put out onto the crowd.
Wow.
Like, so they have a whole drum kit and then the crowd holds it up. And Josh comes out and jumps on the drums and does like a whole solo, like while the crowd is surfing the drums. It's so badass.
That is so cool. Mitchell saw them not too long ago, maybe a couple months, and he said it was the best show he had ever seen. So
for two
I'm gonna
guys,
have to see them at some point. I know, for real. Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, the production during the show is not two guys. It's all their instruments recorded.
Probably an army.
Like, yeah. And
secret army.
It's mostly just live drums, and then like he'll play one instrument per song. So he'll play like a bass for one song, guitar, another one, ukulele, and another tambourine, and one. It's super
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Definitely a hell of a show.
Cool.
Those dudes are performers, no doubt.
Yeah.
Now the song Wineglass off of the EP Dawn by Kailey Miller.
Top of my wine glass, darling, I'm gonna need it all right. 'Cause rain's not the only thing falling tonight. Oh, you don't seem to know how this thing seems to go every time like the time before. Just walk me home, darling. Leave my heart there by the door. It won't take me long to remember all those tiny things that you do best. Like music in the summer air, lazy lamplight in your hair. Something wakes again in my chest as the night settles in, and I'm picturing those city lights the night I said goodbye. I walked away, darling, and left my heart there by your side. So top off my wine glass, darling. Here's to everything new. To all your dreams, to green-eyed springtime memories. God, it's so good to see you. Then we'll take to the streets, wrap your arm around me with a gentleman's gentle indifference. Walk anywhere, darling. Just walk me home, darling. Leave my heart there by the door. Just walk me home, darling. Leave my heart there by the door.
What is something that has happened to you in the last 2 weeks that has brought you extreme joy? Anything like that?
Can I cheat?
Sure, you can go back a month.
Okay. Well, a month ago, I was in Hawaii, and it was amazing. I was standing on this incredible cliff overlooking this beach that was just made of all these rounded lava rocks, and I cried. I was so happy I cried. It was absolutely gorgeous. So that's my happy moment.
Yeah, how'd you end up in Hawaii? Just a vacay?
Yeah, a friend of mine, his family was going, and he's just like, "Do you want to come to Hawaii?" And I'm like, "Actually, yeah." I mean,
No.
buying the plane ticket kind of sucked, but once we were over there, wow, I've never been somewhere so amazing. I should have stayed. I almost did. There's still time, but
Yeah.
it was incredible.
I wonder how many people over there that just never came back. Like, they're just people looking for them.
I know. Yeah, for real.
Just
Yep.
just pick up a surfboard and get a tan and see ya.
Yeah. Eat a coconut. Yeah. Avocados are the size of my head.
Nice.
I kid you not.
Well, I would love to
So-
talk to you after you get off tour. So
Deal. Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, let's have
Let's for sure do it.
a post tour chat, and we'll
Yes.
figure out what you've learned on tour. I would love to get back to you on
Yay.
that.
Same.
Cool.
I would love to tell you about more potential happy moments.
Yeah, definitely. I'll quiz you once again. We'll go enjoy your dinner, and thank you so
There you
much
go.
for hanging out.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Kailey Miller. That is Kailey. If you're looking for her online, she just got off tour, so you can go to Facebook and see some videos and some pictures. Just share the adventure, it's all up there. Kailey Miller Music, you're going to find her on Facebook. Also, the EP Dawn is available in its entirety on Bandcamp. And let's see, what else? I was going to talk about Bo. You remember Bo? You guys know Bo, right? He's the co-host of this podcast sometimes, and he's a very knowledgeable fella. He's got a new podcast out about movies. He's, I guess, reviewing and just kind of breaking down cinema. It's really cool. It's the good and the bad and all the stuff in between. It's called Collateral Cinema Podcast. If you want a movie reviewed, you just want to talk shit, you want to write in and leave a bunch of comments, do that. Find him on Twitter at C Cinema Podcast. And you can write in at collateralcinemapodcast@gmail.com. That's our buddy Bo. Really good dude. I hope that podcast takes off, because he definitely has a really, really vast knowledge of movies. So it'd be really interesting to hear his take. Also, my lifelong friend, I'm just kidding, we've only been friends for a few years, but I feel like I've known the dude forever. He's selling houses and buying houses and making it easy for you to sell your house, and you can sell it right to him. He actually is a ninja. He's a martial artist. He's kind of the Buddhist philosopher type guy. I don't know. He's very easygoing, and he believes in efficiency in your energy. So he's selling houses, guys. It's called Ninjas Buy Houses, and if you're looking for him on Facebook, it's just that. Also, if you want to get online and contact him about selling your house, if you're ready to get out now, he will get in touch with you and work something out. And if it doesn't look like he can do it, he's going to send you in the right direction every time. He's a very honest, reliable person. I highly recommend ninjasbuyhouses.com for your real estate adventure, your next real estate, whatever you do with it. Also, if you're looking to get out on the road and you're going camping, maybe you're hitting the road, you're going on tour, and you don't want to drag a giant trailer, and you don't want to drag an RV that's gonna just pull your gas efficiency into a black hole, and you're never gonna see any of your money again because RVs are shit nowadays and they're really expensive to run. Find simple luxury. And armadillocamperkits.com. They've got tons of models for teardrop campers that are decked out with everything you need. You can customize them. They will build them exactly the way you want them. Their brand new model is called the Tejas. Go check it out. It's huge. Fits a queen-size bed, you guys. Like a fold-out queen-size bed. That's a couch whenever you're just cruising, which isn't legal to do, when you're driving. But it's great when it's parked under a tree and you're camping in it. It's badass. This thing has everything. It's got a toaster oven. It had a TV in it. Our friend Emily, the one that puts them together and sort of markets them, she brought it over and let us check it out, and I was just kind of blown away at how much space was in these things. ArmadilloCamperKits.com. You guys check them out for yourselves. That's gonna do it for episode 12 of the Trial by Error Variety Show podcast. If you guys don't already know, we're on Stitcher. If you do your podcasting on Stitcher, we're there. We're also on YouTube. We're on Libsyn, SoundCloud, Facebook, Pinterest. Pinterest is a little different for us. We have a lot of different ideas out there as far as like inspirational people, and we have our local band stuff, of course. But we also have a board that's dedicated to instruments and how to make your instruments sound better. So go check that out. It's on Pinterest. We also have the trialbyerrorvarietyshow.com, which has sort of a Wikipedia for local and unsigned bands, even notable bands. They're on there as well, with links to all of their music, the bands that have helped us out by giving us interviews and showing us their music and introducing us to their sounds. So thank you to all the bands, all the listeners, all the new subscribers and old subscribers, and thanks to the people that helped me put this on here at home. Everybody know who you are. There's too many of you to name. It's really awesome. So everybody take care of one another and follow